Don't worry, he won't go far on foot is an interesting concept, and there were some things about it that were done well, but I don't think it met its potential. This was released in 2018. It's directed by Gus Van Sant, written by Van Sant, and based on Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot by John Callahan. And we have Joaquin Phoenix playing John Callahan. And we also have Jonah Hill, Rooney Mara, Jack Black. We have a brilliant cast, and that certainly works in the film's favour. The narrative sounded fascinating. It sounded like it was going to be really emotional, and it really isn't. And I think the main reason for that is because it's really boring. It's about an individual called John Callahan, and it's based on the true story of how he was in an accident and became paraplegic, which obviously is a devastating situation. He also has problems with alcohol, so there's a lot going on in his life that's causing a lot of emotional struggles, as one can imagine. And I thought that that would be a really emotional part of the film. I thought there would be two aspects to the film that would be emotional. One, that part of it, and yeah, maybe a little emotional. And the other part I thought would be emotional in the uplifting, inspirational sense, because he turns to drawing cartoons and that really channeling those emotions into his career as a cartoonist, and how kind of that helped, and how that passion really kind of came about, and he really was able to propel that passion. And I thought that that would have been really emotional and moving and uplifting, and it wasn't. It really wasn't. I felt absolutely nothing. So because it's really boring, it's very slow, I don't think the characters themselves have a lot of emotion. I just wasn't really enjoying the experience. Yes, telling a true story I think is important. I think keeping somebody's story alive, John Callahan passed away in 2010, keeping their story alive, I think is always going to be a good thing, particularly when they've been through such hardships like this. But that doesn't instantly translate to a powerful, emotional, moving film. And I don't think it delivers what the film thinks it delivers. It's listed as a comedy drama, and I didn't find it funny either. I didn't find it to be that dramatic. Yes, there are, of course, a couple of moments given the nature of the narrative, but in general, I found it to just be a very flat film with not a lot of emotion on either end of the scale. Yes, there were a few tiny bits, of course there were, where things were heavier and a little more challenging to watch because they were done right. But the bulk of the film, and it is quite a long film, it's not quite 2 hours, but it's very long nevertheless. For the bulk of the film, there are no emotions. It's very dry. I felt very little when watching this, and that's not the experience I was expecting. The performances are fine. I don't know how accurate this depiction of John Callahan is to the true individual. If anybody has any thoughts on that, please feel free to share, but I don't have any issues with any of the performances in general. Maybe it's worth watching if there's a specific reason why you want to watch it. Maybe you're a fan of the cast. Maybe you're aware of John Callahan. I certainly wasn't aware of his career before this, so I'm thankful for the education, I guess. But if you're looking for a very moving story, sometimes we want to watch a story that will make us feel a lot of emotions. And that's the experience I thought I'd get with this. And I didn't. I felt very little. So I don't think it quite hits the mark. It's not terrible. And as I said, telling a true story, keeping that person's story alive, that's always going to be a good thing, generally speaking. So it's not terrible, and the performances are okay. Visually, it's fine, no problems with any of the technical aspects. It just wasn't as good as I expected. Don't worry, he won't get far on foot. It's an okay film, but I think it could have been so much better.